Okay, so I can't see everyone. I can see you, Denise. Thumbs up if you can see the screen. Let me know. We're good? Awesome. Okay, well, thank you everybody for attending this January session of the Content Lab. I'm having some fun with it. You'll see in the emails that I'll try to like put in an emoji. There'll be like a lab coat or a beaker, anything having to do with the science of LinkedIn. I wanted to touch base briefly on last month. So it was the month of December. We have a lot of things going on in December, but I still wanted to have everybody like get used to looking at LinkedIn in a different way. And when I talk about the different things happening in December, I know sometimes the attention span was stretched, or we wanted just to start to relax and enjoy the holidays and things like that. So, just to touch base on what's happening, what happened previously, and then what is coming up. So, as we are getting used to being with the group, you will be receiving a weekly recap. And in this recap, there'll be a link to some of the conversations that are happening within the group. So, first of all, when it comes to starting a post in the group, you are welcome to do that. So you can start a post. I don't have to approve it. And so, any questions that you might have about a particular thing having to do with LinkedIn, you can share that with the group. If there's something that you're really proud of or you want some feedback, share that with the group. And of course, if you have anything specific for me, then you can do the @ sign. I always go in and I see what's happening. So there's going to be a link to, in the weekly recap, a link to the conversations that are happening in the group, and then also any tutorials that are happening. So some of the things that we spoke about last month, and that was the theme for last month, was about establishing your business to your LinkedIn network. And as I had mentioned before, we're on LinkedIn and I follow many individuals on LinkedIn, and sometimes it's not clear what it is that they do. And that's why this was one of the first focuses that we wanted to have for December. And then we also talked about like the content ideas to support the fact that you are establishing your business to your network. So there was a tutorial on that. You guys did an amazing job sharing some content on that. And this is the Content Lab. So we will continue to focus on content for your LinkedIn. However, we're also going to touch on things like your profile. We'll also touch on other topics having to do with LinkedIn so that you can really show up and stand out on the platform. Every single month, we are going to just do a full recap, and then we are going to put it into our library. Still working on the name, but right now we're calling it the Content Lab Members Library. And then each folder, there will be a folder that is going to have everything that we were focusing on for the month. So there'll be links to some of those conversations, because in some of those conversations in the group, we did share some tutorials, for instance, or we did share links to downloads. And then also in that library for that month, we will also share any videos that we've done that are, and you'll be able to link to that as well. You'll probably notice that what my strategy is that even though the videos are housed in different places, I'm always going to bring everybody back to the group, and then that's where the main link will be. So if you have any questions about that, you can let me know after. And then what is coming up? So for January, on the 28th, we're talking about the 28th of January already, we will have our office hours. So that is something that we've introduced. And from 1 o'clock until 2 p.m., you come on board. And if you have any questions, then this time is for you. So that is what we are doing. So let's go into the January. Now, January is all about building connections with intention. And I know that a lot of people are very excited by this. Usually what people do is that they dive into LinkedIn and then they're wondering, like, okay, well, I don't know what to post, or I am sharing content on LinkedIn, but I find like things are not connecting. I would like to connect with more people, and things are not happening. So when it comes to being on LinkedIn, you want to establish your authority. You want to establish with everyone what is it that you do in your industry? Like, what is your expertise? But the magic of LinkedIn is that you can curate who you get in front of. So when we think about the other platforms like Facebook and Instagram, yes, you definitely can go ahead and follow other individuals who, could they be my ideal client? The thing is that sometimes, like the way that it's set up, it takes a little bit longer. So yes, if you are somebody who works with entrepreneurs, if you are somebody who works with people in the landscaping industry, well, the thing is that on Instagram, you can do that search, you can find the company's Instagram account, but that doesn't really get you to connect to who is the decision maker within that company. And that is the amazing thing about LinkedIn is that not only can you get in front of these companies, but you can also get in front of these individuals who are like the decision makers in the company as well. Now, in this month of January, we're also going to be doing things like connection challenges and like what are the best practices for the authentic engagement. Now, one of the things that you will hear me highlight during the month of January and every time thereafter is that, one of the things that you want to be aware of is what would you do if you were like in person, or what are your expectations? How is it that you want to feel when somebody is like greeting you in real life? So some of the questions that I tend to hear in my journey of meeting individuals is that they say, okay, I've connected with somebody. Now, how do I let them know what it is that I do? So I like to say that, let's just slow the roll a little bit. I know we're here to build our business, but it's about like creating the conversations. And also, this is your opportunity that now that you have connected with somebody who is the decision maker, now you can see what type of content that they're sharing. You'll be able to engage with that content and share some meaningful comments as well about what it is that they are sharing. And also, you will be able to get a really great idea as to what it is that is important to them so that when you decide to start to have that conversation, that's something that you will be able to share with them as you like build out your pitch or what it is that you're going to say with them. So that is what we are doing for the month of January. Now, today we're talking about the art of authentic networking, and we are talking about building the relationships that are going to convert. So, what we are doing today is going to be the start of doing that authentic networking. I call it authentic networking because you are you are connecting with those individuals who are going to be your ideal clients. You are connecting with those individuals who are going to be those potential collaborators. And I will be talking about all of these as well. And then you're also going to be connecting with those individuals who I like to call cheerleaders. I keep them as all C's, the three C's. And these are the individuals who you meet at a networking event. A networking event could be an in-person event. A networking event could be that you attended something on Zoom and there were individuals that had something amazing to say, it really resonated, and then you want to look for them on LinkedIn. So these are building authentic relationships, and when you are building these types of relationships, these are the individuals who are most likely going to enjoy what it is that you are sharing. So it's not just about who it is that I can connect to build my business, but also when you are building your connections, then these individuals are going to be most likely interested in what it is that you're sharing. And what will ripple out is that they will be the ones who will engage with your content. And as well, that helps with the algorithm. Now, this is why I love LinkedIn. And because as a business owner, I don't have time to waste. And I know that a lot of other entrepreneurs feel this way. You are able to build a network of followers and connections to suit your needs. So on other platforms, you are waiting to be found. So we are sharing that post on TikTok. You are sharing that post on Facebook or on Instagram. And you're like, I hope that my ideal clients are going to see that post. So when we open up our phones on Instagram, we are given a feed of so many individuals, like people that we're following. We're also given that feed of people that link that Instagram feels that this would be a really great fit for us. And often, like who it is that you're seeing in that feed, it's not always those that can help you to grow your business. So on LinkedIn, when you are building these connections, people want to be found. Like on LinkedIn, all of their information is there. So I spoke about the fact that on Instagram and on Facebook, you can look for these company pages. On LinkedIn, people want to be found. Their titles are there, meaning, are they the vice president? Are they the founder? Are they the administrative assistant? Like all of their titles are there. And, when you do that deep dive into who your client avatar is, then you will know like what are their titles, and then therefore you'll be able to look for these individuals on the platform. So they want to be found, their titles are there, their location is there. So if you are somebody who can work with anyone across North America, then when you are doing a search for these individuals who have a specific title, you can, I like to call it kind of visiting the globe. So if I have clients who are across North America, and I'm looking for who these right fit clients are or who these right fit collaborators are, what I can do is I can put in their titles, I can put in what is the type of business that they do, and also I can choose to go to New York. And then what happens is that LinkedIn will share with me these individuals who have those descriptions in their profile, and then I can start sending out connection requests by just going through and looking through their profiles and then deciding who it is I want to connect to. So yes, this is the way that you are able to build that group of uh, individuals with intention. And we're going to talk about like how it is that you can identify the types of professionals that you want in your network as well. Yeah, so I talked about why it is that it matters, but another thing about why this all matters is that you are aligning your business goals with who it is that you connect with on LinkedIn. And you're doing this so that when you are connecting with those on LinkedIn, you're connecting with those who can support your objectives for your business. So, it's always about focusing on quality over quantity. Often on other platforms, it's about how many more people are following me. But on LinkedIn, it's about being more purposeful and having the right people following you and also having the right people who are connected to you. People who are connected to you on LinkedIn, they are automatically following you. Here's a little bit more of a breakdown for that. So if somebody sends you a connection request, and by the way, you do not have to accept every connection request. You can protect your feed. But if somebody sends you a connection request, they automatically become your follower. But you may decide that you don't want to approve that connection request. So if you delete that request, they're still your follower. Or somebody might be really excited by what it is that you're sharing, and they don't want to send you a connection request. But what they do is they automatically follow your profile. So when you send that connection request, it gives you the opportunity to start conversations. So it's about maximizing that opportunity to build your meaningful relationships. You'll be able to foster collaborations and achieve your targeted growth. And as I mentioned, we're connecting with those who are the three C's and aligning with people who are who are able to help us focus on our business goals. Denise, do you have your hand up at all? Or are we good so far?
Yeah, I raised my hand because Patricia had a question. I don't know if you want to address it now or after, but I can ask it. I'll just ask it. It's in the chat. Is
Yeah,
premium Oh,
go
can you
ahead.
hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
Is premium on LinkedIn worth it? What is the cost?
So for me, premium is worth it. Why is it worth it? Because I have put myself into a flow of ensuring that I am sending out connection requests. Premium is worth it because if I'm using the free LinkedIn, what will happen is that LinkedIn will cap me. So LinkedIn at about maybe 25 or 30, when you send out 25 to 30 requests, LinkedIn will say, Patricia, perhaps you might want to consider premium. And then, then what will happen is that you will not be able to send any more connection requests. I would say give that another month and maybe even give it a third month as well. Um, so get capped and then go into the next month and send out those connection requests. And then when you are like, oh my goodness, I am in the flow of sending out connection requests on LinkedIn, and therefore I don't want to get this notification anymore, then premium is worth it. So premium is worth it for making those connections. And then also premium turns on various things onto your profile to help your profile to stand out. It's also a pretty a cost. So there is like a specific cost for premium where you are able to maybe get maybe 15 more connection requests. And then there's the one that's about maybe $80 a month. I can double check that. And then you can do unlimited and you can also turn on some other things. So I think like really I like to compare it with a gym membership. Like before you go and get that personal trainer as well, I would say that you want to make sure that you're showing up at the gym and you're using the free weights and you're making sure that you've got that in your schedule and you're showing up. And then when you want to have more and you're seeing the results, then move to premium. Did I answer your question okay, Patricia? Awesome, great.
Can
Thank
I add
you.
one thing? Can I
Yes,
add one
please.
thing? One thing I really like about premium, this is just me because I feel like we never stop learning and it gives you access to LinkedIn Learning and all the courses that are there. And they have courses led by really amazing experts. So that's one of the things, that's one of the benefits of being on premium that I really like. So just to add on to that.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm going to briefly add on to yours, Denise, because maybe the last year and change, and I'll double check, I will fact check. But so the Toronto Library, I believe that they give everyone access, but I will double check that and circle back into the group. But thank you for sharing that point. Yeah, so let's go to your connection strategy. It begins with your business. So I really wanted to highlight that part because, people reach out to us and they say, I need that social media strategy. Yes, we all need to have that social media strategy. We all need to have a strategy within our business. And everything starts with like, what are the goals in our business? And then your LinkedIn strategy will support that. So one of the questions that we tend to ask at Boswell-Buck Creative is what are your top three business goals? And your business goals could be like you want to earn a specific revenue. That's usually like one of the goals. It's my goal as well. Another could be that you want to grow your email list. Like that's a goal that I like to have for myself because I also like to play the long game. And when I'm growing my email list as well, then that's another way that I can nurture my community as well. And also it's a great way to like let them know what's happening within your business and to, build your sales that way as well, or have somebody to book a call. Another goal could be that you want to build a circle of referral sources. So here are a couple of examples. Now, I had a copywriter reach out to me last year because she does copywriting for websites, and she reached out to me on LinkedIn because her clients need social media support. And she's also looking for ways to create partnerships with trusted experts. She said to me on the call, I don't want to do it. I mean, I can offer social media management, but I really want to like do what it is that I really enjoy doing, stay more in my zone of genius. And I want to meet with individuals and learn if this could be a possible partnership. So, a question that you can ask yourself is, outside of it being all you, how is it that you can partner with others? Here's another example. Somebody who is a mortgage specialist. Perhaps they might want to partner with realtors. That's a great way where they can partner with a real estate agent whose clients will need a mortgage expert, and that's a great way to build partnerships. Or a makeup artist. A makeup artist, it would be a great opportunity for them to partner with somebody who is in event planning, or, partner with people who are wedding planners. So those are really great ways. Again, ask yourself, how can I connect with others who work with similar clients? Another thing in terms of goals is there an opportunity to expand your business to another target audience? One of the things that we have had in conversations, Denise and I, is we can support entrepreneurs. However, is there an opportunity to partner with those who are within human resources, or partner with individuals who are career coaches because their clients would need LinkedIn optimization? So the question again is, what would be like, who are the individuals that your business goals would be a great fit for outside of the ones that you usually serve? Denise, I see your hand up.
Sorry, okay, there was another question from Lorna. So again, I can do it now or we could do it after. It's up to you.
I will do that one and then I will power through. Yes, go ahead,
Uh,
Denise.
okay, okay. So Lorna was asking, sometimes I'm reluctant to share on LinkedIn. I have a flyer for my upcoming event on manners class for children. What are your thoughts on this? Can I share this information here?
Yes, you can, because in your headline, one of the things that you speak about is etiquette. And the only way that individuals are going to know about the services that you provide is if you share it. So I really think that it's very much aligned. Think about it. So, LinkedIn is that professional platform, and those who are on the platform are people. These people, they have a life. Some have children, some like to work out, some are, like they are all people at the end of the day. And as you're building that network of individuals, you're building that network, and they're most likely going to enjoy or want to engage with what it is that you're sharing. And you sharing this manners class for children, it's very much in alignment with what it is that you do. So tag me, Lorna, or share it in the group when you do that. Okay, so we know about our business goal, and you already have an idea as to like your client avatar. And last month in the group, one of the questions that we shared in one of the posts was, share a description of what one of your ideal clients are. And I really loved like the descriptions that went through there. You guys gave a really you were very descriptive. So if you're going to take a look for that post, if you haven't done it already, it's the one where the Golden Girls are dancing. And when you take a look at it, it's a really great opportunity to see how descriptive like everyone's client avatars are. Now, while it may not be easy to know who could benefit from mindset work, or it might not be easy to know who is looking to transition into a new career, as business owners, we do know that we do know like who could possibly or what industry would be interested in what it is that we're sharing, or what it is that yeah, what it is that we would be sharing. So here are some things that I like to break down when I am thinking about like my business goals. I think about like what are the costs of my offers. I think about the location of my ideal client. I also think about their income as well. Why do I think about their income? Because that'll help me to decide like when they are working, like what are their titles, so I can understand like what is the level of their seniority, and also I could understand like what industry that they work in. So I'm thinking about FIFA, and in that post, she says that she works with women coaches. So when you are doing that search on LinkedIn, then you could look for people who are in a specific area and also like what it is that they do. So here are some examples, like when you're thinking about who to connect to, when you're thinking about who to connect to with work titles, um, think about connecting with people who have the titles of small business owner, entrepreneur, or founder. And then also you can think about like the specific industries that they're in. Perhaps they are event organizers. I talked about earlier, like the makeup artists, they can partner with people who are event organizers. Do you have a product or service that are great for people who are conference planners? Or can you work with leaders who are in women's business associations? So think about like the industries, because those are terms that you can put into your search. Now, today, I hope you don't mind. What I'm doing is I'm using some examples of individuals in the group. And of course, if you have any questions as well, you know, for examples for yourself, then feel free to share that in the group and I will go through that. So again, aligning your business goals with your purposeful objections for your desired business growth. So Carla, I have you here. Now, Carla, I'm thinking that, I took a look at your profile and you have life coaching, corporate training, public speaking. And I thought to myself, who would be a great fit for Carla to do a search for? And what I came up with are like those who are women entrepreneurs, business owners, for example. So that's a search. And when I think about who these people are, like they're most likely that business owner who started a business to live the life that they desire, and now they give and they give and they give. And they don't put themselves first. They put themselves last most often. So I think it would be great, Carla, for you to search for women business owners. And perhaps in that case, you might be looking for business owners who have an established business. You'll be able to do more of a deep dive in that when you get to their LinkedIn account. So, also, Carla, you can also look out for individuals who plan events for entrepreneurs, because then you could be on the stage to speak to these women entrepreneurs, for an example. So that's an example that I have here for you. And then Leah. So I chose you, Leah, and you have personalized client gifts and smart networking accessories. So for you, I think that there's a great opportunity, not I think, there is a great opportunity for you to do a search on LinkedIn for those who are corporate event planners or people who are involved with PR for events. Now, because I've heard you speak, you and I have had conversations as well, as I've seen you at networking events, and I know it's really important for you about like once people leave these events, then what? How is it that everybody can remain connected? So I think there's a really great opportunity for you to like connect with those individuals. Natalie, so you have on your profile event photography, brand photography, marketing strategy. For you, that is connecting with other entrepreneurs that fit within your niche. You work with women entrepreneurs. I've also seen on your feed where you're working with teams as well. So, is there an opportunity for you to build your connections with other individuals who fit within that as well? And then I saw that you have event photography. So, like Leah, you can start connecting with individuals who also have in their profile that they do like corporate events or networking events as well. Jody. So Jody helps professionals get clear in their careers. Now, in the group, you mentioned that you help mid-level. So mid-level clients. So I did a search, like what is that mid-level client? And so these are the terms that I came up with. People who have in their titles, they have that perhaps they're supervisors, they are the department head, they're a director, they're a chief supervisor. So I think that's a great opportunity for you to do a deep dive on like what are these titles? And then now that you know of these titles, you can start connecting with these individuals who have these titles as well. So when you're focusing on individuals who align with your business goals, then you are able to, everyone, you're able to stand out in front of them. And this will give you the opportunity to showcase your credibility and to increase your visibility as well. So this month and every week, I'll be checking in and I'll be sharing some challenges. Oh, I spelled challenge wrong. So I'll be sharing some challenges as well, but this is your challenge for this week. In the next 7 days, send out 7 connection requests. Now, you're probably like, 7? Are you kidding me? Or maybe you might be saying 7. Oh my goodness, or 7, I'm excited. Now, why am I asking you to start at 7? Well, A, if you are using free LinkedIn, which there's nothing wrong with that. And to be honest, like most of my clients, they have the free LinkedIn because one of the things that we do for them is that we use LinkedIn to be purposeful and to look for their ideal clients. And they, when we are sending out like 20 or 25 connection requests, they are actually having people like reach back out to them and they're booking calls as well. So I do believe that, you don't always have to go to that next level. So just get your feet wet in that and be very purposeful. So in the next 7 days, send out 7 connection requests. Now, if you see I've got that magnifying glass, be aware of the activity. We want to connect with individuals who have been active within the last few days or the last couple of weeks. Um, before I was saying like it within the month, but LinkedIn has like over 1 billion people on the platform. The billion people are not your target audience, but there are thousands of people who are your ideal clients. So there are many people to choose from. So why I want you to be aware of their activity, because if you send out a connection request to somebody who is not active on the platform, they have not done anything on the platform in the last month and a half, for example, then what will happen is that when you send that connection request and then they get that notification in their emails, they're probably not going to circle back and take a look because LinkedIn is not a priority. And then what will happen is that you are going to be capped and not being able to build your connections. So take a look at the activity, and LinkedIn will show you in the last day, in the last week, in the last 3 weeks. So that's something that you want to take a look at. And then another thing that people are saying, okay, so I've sent out a connection request. Now, what do I say when they've accepted it? You know what? You can keep this one simple for January. We're 9 days into the year. But so this is something that you can say, Denise, I'm going to use you as an example. Hi, Denise. Great to connect. I hope you're having a great start to the year. Dee. So just as simple as that. Like I think we can say, I hope you're having a great start to the year up until like even up until the end of January. So you can keep it as simple as that, or some of the things that I tend to say is, I'll use Jody as an example. Jody, thanks so much for accepting my connection request. I look forward to learning more about you. Something as simple as doing that. And I shared in the group content, a connection tracker. And so what you can do here is you can put somebody's name in here that you've connected to, and this should say connection tracker, so my apologies. You can put someone's name in there. You can also put in the job title so you can share. So you can be aware and know that you're keeping on track with the types of individuals you're connecting with. You can put in their company as well, the date that you've connected, the reason why you decided to connect with this individual. So I think that this person is a great person to connect to because they could be a great referral source. Also, think about like what is your first follow-up action. So you could follow up in the next few days, and the follow-up doesn't have to be, I have the perfect product for you. I don't think a lot of people like that. And I know that I've had people connect with me and I was really excited. I'm just telling you about how it is that I feel. And I'm somebody who's a marketer. They've connected with me. And then so people, when people send me a connection request, I thank them for sending that connection request. But then the second response that they sent to me is that they have something really great for my business. And I think to myself, oh no, they're going to give me a hard sell. So think about like what are the ways that you can follow up. And before you get to that follow-up process, find out like take a look at how it is that you can engage with their content, or if they're not somebody to post from their profile, maybe they're quite active on LinkedIn but they have engaged on other individuals content, then you can do things like reply back to their content as well. So that follow up could be, as an example, somebody reached out to me and they said, hi Dee, I'm a copywriter and I'm looking to have conversations with people who do social media to see how it can support my business. Or, hi Dee, I would love to, like, I'm so glad that we're connected and I'm loving your content. Do you think that we could have time for a digital coffee? So that first follow up. And then, that last interaction, put down the date for that. Because if they're not engaging with you, then hey, it's time to like move on and then you can connect with someone else. And then like think about like write like what would be your next action plan for that person if they are connecting. So that is like today's tutorial about getting started with connecting with individuals on LinkedIn and some of the easy ways that you can start those conversations and looking for the individual. So I see a lot of questions that are happening. I'm not going to stop share yet because maybe I'm going to flip back to one of the slides, but I'll ask Denise if you can read through the comments and then I will stop the share and everybody can ask some additional questions.
I see a lot of comments, but I don't see any new questions
Okay,
in the chat. So, I mean, but I'm sure
I'm
maybe
going to stop
people,
sharing.
oh, oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Denise. That was helpful. I always believe that we should get the help that we need and to work the different parts here. So thanks so much. So I'm going to go through here. Premium, we talked about that. Um, Jody talked about the public libraries and LinkedIn Learning. Um, Partnerships and trusted goals. Yes, Leah, like business ownership is hard. I have no regrets, but if I can do things easy as well, I try to look for like those who I can partner with as well. Oh, Leah. Okay, so Leah said, people who want to connect with me are just people that want to sell to me. But then I guess I want to do that too. Yes, I want to sell to people as well. So this is what you're going to start realizing is that when you start like sharing more content on LinkedIn, then what's going to happen is that people are going to start to follow. And I like to share like the meaningful content. I love to share content, for myself or, Denise writes great content for clients that's content that is educational and that it gets people to follow you and to want to connect with you as well. So what we want to happen is that we want to have more people who are interested in what it is that you're saying, send those connection requests to you. You will still have people following you and or connecting with you to sell to you. And what you can do with your message inbox is that you can filter it so that when people are doing that, they just land in another area. Like right now in my mind, I'm like, people are not doing that. But if I go to that filtered section, it's like, yikes, well, I dodged some bullets there. But it's like I walk into LinkedIn and it's all Zen because I just see the important messages. So you can take a look at those filters. Um,
Oh, do you have more tips on, because this is it in a nutshell. I feel the opposite of Zen when I open LinkedIn. Like I avoid opening it because I'm just like, what is all this? So knowing filters or how to set up the filters, or is that a different conversation? Um,
yeah,
yeah,
so
I would love to know more about filters.
yeah, so one day it was bugging me, Leah, and I shared a LinkedIn post and I shared how to do it. So I'm going to look for
Ah,
it and then I'm going to link it.
okay,
Okay. And then
perfect. Thank you.
if I feel like I need to add a bit more description, I will do that in the comments. So
Perfect. Thank
it
you.
was interesting because people were like, really? Get out of town. I didn't know that I can do that. Okay. And then let's see.
There's a question
Um,
from Lucy here at the bottom.
yeah. Oh, let me just, if I can just answer something. Oh, so Lorna, I'm saying that you can share to LinkedIn. You can share to LinkedIn, like to your LinkedIn community, as opposed to the group. But feel free to, because my goal is to have you sharing to your followers, but feel free to share that link into the group because then we can, talk about like what type of call to actions, or was your call to action like really on point, or was it too soft? Maybe you can go in there and make an edit. So that's what I was speaking about. Let's see here. I'm just going to go through Denise and then you can speak about Lucy. So Lauren's collaborated with a wedding planner. Awesome. So that's great. Um, oh, good, Carla. I'm glad you love the tracker. Okay. And I'm still working my way down. Um, ah, so FIFA, she said she blocked them. FIFA, I block people as well. Yeah, so that's another thing that you can do. They don't get a notification, but if you block them, you probably don't care if they've gotten a notification as well. Okay. So Denise, what is it that you have that you said that Lucy was sharing?
Oh, it was just here at the bottom. What are your thoughts for posts on link to website and then the use of hashtags and then signature and CTA? Um,
Okay, yeah. So social media platforms, they do not want people to leave the platform. And sometimes we want people to leave the platform because we're business owners. So, what I would recommend is that share your post on LinkedIn, and then what you can do is that you can mention that you are sharing the links in the comments. So, some of the things that I do is I will say links and I do the bubbles, the emoji bubbles for links in the comments, and people totally get that. So you can share that link into the comments. And also, yeah, so that link to the website or the link to to the landing page. Hashtags, you don't have to use hashtags on LinkedIn anymore. However, this is why when you're sharing on LinkedIn, think about like when your target audience is looking for somebody who does what it is that you do, what are the keyword phrases that they would be using on Google, for instance, to look for you? So someone reached out to me. They said that they were looking for somebody who could do a LinkedIn presentation, and they found me on LinkedIn. I was like, yes, I'm so excited that they found me. And that's because I had a social media post that I do that. I also mentioned that I do team building and workshops. So those keywords were in there, and those keywords are also in my profile as well. And then I'm not quite sure about what it is that you mean about signature. And in, if you want people to act, then yes, you need to have a call to action. Send me a DM. Send me a DM right here on LinkedIn. Link is in the comments to register. So that would be your call to action. So I see that Carla's hand is up, but Lucy, if you could go in and if you can maybe unmute. And what is it that you mean about signature? Or I'll let you circle back and you can tell me what that means. So Carla, your hand is up.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Dee. I just wanted to say what I loved about this connection challenge is it's like relationship building, and it reminded me as we were talking about like a dating profile and how much so two things came to mind. One is we don't just go in and say, okay, let's get married on a dating profile, right? We get to know each other a little bit. And then we all, one of the best things that I say to the people that I'm working with when they're using a dating profile is always move off the site. So, like, you stay on it for a little while to make sure it feels good and the connection is like genuine enough. And then you move on to find out whether or not you're actually a good match. So, I love that advice. Like, do some things to engage and get to know people and then ask for the coffee date virtually or whatever so that you can actually get to know people. And so I love this as going to be my full way that I use LinkedIn. I feel like I already do because we've talked about this. You've helped me with this before. So I've already started doing those connection requests, but I feel like this next step is the I just wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I've been to a couple of in-person networking events, and people were talking about like sending connection requests. And then I noticed that immediately, like many of them were saying, and then I'm going to go in and talk about my offer. And I wasn't there to speak about LinkedIn. I was just a guest at this event. And in my mind, I'm like, no, no, don't do that. And I really think it's when we're having these conversations, it just makes things a lot easier. And also, when you have that digital coffee with somebody, like one of the things that I make a joke about, I'll say, would you like to get on for coffee? We all need to take a break during the day. And this is just me saying that part because sometimes I even get, believe it or not, I get in my way and I'm thinking things like, oh, this person's not going to want to connect with me. So I like to put my humor. We all need to take a break during the day. And then, so when we're having this conversation, I might have thought that this person was a great fit, but then in this conversation, I also learned that they don't quite work with the clients that I thought. So, but it was really great to have that conversation. And now, like, they're now in my sphere as well. So Jody asked, like, who do you recommend we reach out to for corporate workshops or facilitated sessions? I'd love to do more of this and want to consider who are the decision makers. So Jody, one of the things that you could do is I think about a client that I had, and this client, they do sanitation of tote boxes. Just stay with me. Sanitation of tote boxes. And so the tote boxes, they are sanitized and they go to a vendor like Maple Lodge Farms. Maple Lodge Farms puts the meat in there, the chicken products. They only do chicken. Then it goes to Loblaws and a box goes to goes to Freshco, and then Freshco and Loblaws, they empty it out, they stack it onto a skid, and it goes back to, not to Maple Lodge Farms, but it goes back to the vendor. It goes back to the sanitizer, and then the whole circle is all over, done all over again. So one of the things that we did is that she was very much aware of organizations that would need her services. She mentioned Gaily Butter, for instance. So what we did was we visited the company page of Gaily Butter, and as long as individuals have stated in their profile that they work with Gaily Butter, and they might say, I work in this field, I work as a supervisor, I work in human resources. Well, this person didn't want anyone in human resources, but this person wanted to speak with decision makers who worked in distribution services or logistics. So we went to those company pages, and on her behalf, we would send out connection requests to people at Gaily Butter who had these titles. And then that way, when they, for the most part, they accepted, and now she can like start creating these conversations. So I would say like it's a really great shortcut. And so think about like some organizations that you feel are aligned that would need that. And that's a great way where you can just go right in there and like, oh my gosh, there's so many people here. And you could send these connection requests to them. Yeah.
Can I add something to that?
Yes. And then I'll take Patricia. Yes. Denise.
Okay. So I wasn't really sure with your question. You were saying, okay, who do you recommend we reach out to for corporate workshops or facilitated sessions? And that I think that was like Dee, I think that was an excellent, like, yeah, I think that was great. What popped into my mind, and maybe because I worked as an admin assistant for so many years, and I would help set up training and workshops and things like that. I wonder if that would also be an avenue that people could go down. I guess depending on the organization that's sort of aligned with with what with what you're looking for.
Yeah, and you're right, Denise. I didn't really quite answer the question. So Jody could, maybe you could speak to this, Denise. She could reach out to those who are like the event planners or those who are in human resources, like the decision makers in human resources. I would say like people who have human resources specialists might not be the ones who can make the decisions, but there's titles on top. And so that aligned to what you said, Denise.
I should just stay off mute. Yeah, that aligns. Yeah, like yeah, HR people, and again, I know that a big part of setting up workshops and corporate training, admin assistants have a lot to do with that as well. And they often have the executive's ear, and they can say, hey, I think this is a really good idea. We should do this for our team, sort of thing. So yeah, sometimes they have a little bit, sometimes admin assistants have more influence than you think they do. But anyway.
So we're coming up to the end. So I see Patricia and I see Paige's question. Patricia, what was your question?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to add to that. Quite often, if you're trying to sell into a company and they do have gatekeepers, quite often the gatekeeper gives the business to their friends. So they look good and they feel good, and that's what they want to do. And to get around that, I used to send a certain package, like I'd come up with something, and it was a wine bottle in a cask wrapped in brown paper and sent to the president, blah, blah, blah. And then when he opened it, he'd say, I want to see this person. So that was an idea, but I mean, you can tailor it to LinkedIn, send something to the boss or even the executive team that they all want to meet you. And why are we not seeing this person? Because the gatekeeper's got her friend in there or whoever.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I mean, on LinkedIn, we can see these titles of these individuals, so you know automatically who to mail something to. That's very smart. Yeah, thank you. Paige, is there a way of looking up how many connection requests you've sent? So what you can do, or let me just go to my phone and I'll let you know. So LinkedIn isn't going to say, Paige, you are at 15 as an example. But in order to like find out like how many people that you've sent to, so I'm looking at it on my phone as an example, and at the very bottom, I click on my network. And then when I get into my network, I see grow, catch up, and then I see invitations. So there's an arrow at the invitations, and then it says received and sent. So when you click on sent, it'll show you all of the individuals that you've sent a connection request to, and it'll say like yesterday, 6 days ago, 1 week ago. So if you just kind of count back, then that will be your way.
That
Yes.
might be a premium feature. I'm just
Oh.
seeing grow and catch up.
Oh, no, it's definitely something that, so what I'll do, Paige, is I'll find an example because I do
Okay.
look at that in my clients as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'll circle back. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
we are at 11:02. I want to be very respectful for everyone's time, but thank you. This is really great questions. There was a little bit of a confusion with like sending out the information about when the sessions will be. So I will be doing like weekly follow-ups as well. And so I thank everybody for your patience. There'll be some reminders in the group as well. And if you have any questions, so this is recorded. I'm going to share a link into the group. And if you have any questions, please share them in the comments. And we're all going to engage on them. So thanks, everybody. And go January and connecting with the people. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Dee. Bye.
Everybody.
Oh, I should say, I just got a 2 months offer from LinkedIn for premium. I took it.
Hey, so take it and put it on your calendar that because if you don't like it, then you want to make sure that you take your card off of that, but go for it.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
did. I did
Thank
the
you.
same. And I took it
Yeah.
off for
Yeah.
now.
Oh, nice. Okay, bye.
Thanks, everybody. I'm going to